Welcome. I hope you enjoy your practice. And if you do, give the video a like, maybe subscribe to the channel, and consider commenting or letting me know how it went. Thank you for being here. So as you arrive in your child's pose, I kind of filled you up with information. So just notice how that is setting in. Yeah, maybe you're noticing a number of thoughts percolating around. And begin to take the observer seat rather than the one that's in the midst of those thoughts and trying to control them or kind of being taken away with them. And then use your posture here on the ground, that connection to the ground, to kind of take that seat and then just begin to watch what's happening in the mind. And you're not trying to push any thoughts away, you're not trying to change them. You're witnessing. And maybe as you keep reminding yourself to just observe, you find that there's a bit more space between the thoughts. If you imagine them as bubbles, boiling water, maybe the water now is cooling down some. And there might not be as many bubbles, not as fast coming up. And then begin to invite your attention to travel towards your breathing, which has been there all along. And then as you find your inhales and exhales, visualize your inhales making a bit more space between those thoughts. And then with your exhales, you're just letting go. You're just grounding, feel that mat underneath you, the support of the earth. And if that visual is helpful, continue with that for a few more cycles of breath. And then begin to explore the nature of your breath a bit more. So you might notice that there is some movement as you breathe in and breathe out, that there is some sound. So begin to get curious about that. And you probably already have, but now with a bit more intention, invite a bit of agency over that breath cycle. So that might mean making it a bit smoother, or making it a bit longer, or a bit deeper, or a little shorter. Your choice here. But it is an intentional breath that still has movement and sound. And then from your child's pose, extend your arms out in front of you and bring your hands onto fingertips. So bring your palms off the ground, your forearms and your elbows. And stay with your breath. You're pushing into those finger pads against the floor. And then try to bring your armpits to face one another just a little bit more. Feel your shoulder blades move away from each other. A bit more space through the back of the neck. Your chin might draw towards your chest. And then walk your fingers towards the left side. And walk your right fingers a little further, or maybe stack your right hand on top of the left. And find that space in the right side body. Take a breath in and out. And then walk your hands back through center. And then all the way towards the right side. And see if that left hand, those left fingers, can walk a little further or stack on top of the right hand. And as you sink your left sit bone down, feel that big space, left side torso, and take a breath. And then use your next inhale to walk your fingers back through center. Once again, a stretch forward. Palms are lifted, you're on your fingertips. Maybe those fingers can walk a little further. Those sit bones are heavy. Take another breath. And then walk your hands in and come into a table pose. Your knees come in if you had them wide, and then take it into cow, lifting that tailbone, dropping the belly, chest forward, gaze up. On your exhale, round into cat, chin towards your chest, space between your shoulder blades, tailbone tucking. Again, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, and cat. Adding in. So as you inhale into cow, lift the heels of the feet towards your glutes. As you exhale into cat, tuck your toes, float your knees, and round your spine. And then again, knees down, heels of feet, glutes, cow. Exhale, tuck the toes, float your knees, round your spine. Another one. Inhale, that cow. And exhale, floating knees, cat. As you inhale, come back into your cow, heels towards the glutes. And now as you exhale, float your knees around your spine, then begin to straighten your legs. But think about drawing the belly and the rib cage towards your thighs. So you're not straightening your legs completely, and the heels of the feet are still lifted. Push away through your hands, take a full breath in, dropping the head. A full breath out. And then from here, take it all the way into your down dog. A little shorter down dog, so the heels of the feet might touch the ground. And if they do, see if you can lift your toes. Wiggle them a bit, spread them, and then lower them to the mat. As you inhale, lift your heels and slowly lower your knees back down. Come into a usual or normal cow pose, so tops of the feet down, chest forward, gaze up. And then on your exhale, round your spine. Come onto your fingertips, walk your hands a bit closer to your knees, and again, find that extra rounding, extra space through the shoulder blades. A squeeze through your glutes, take another breath. And then come back onto your palms, table pose. We'll begin to move through that left leg. So the left knee is going to stay bent. We're taking the left toes towards the ceiling. And then we're bringing them down to float. And now we're going to take that left knee towards the left and up. And bring it back down, float. And again, toes towards the ceiling. So that movement a few more times. Down, out to the left. Down, up towards the ceiling, squeeze left glute, float, out to the left, outer hip work, and float. Two more, up, down, left, down, and one more, up, down, and left, and down. Return that left knee to the ground, and same thing with the right. So begin by sending those right toes up towards the ceiling, squeeze right glute, float the knee and out to the right. And a few like that at your own pace. Make sure your breath is happening. And then one more of each. And then the next time, knee down, come back into your table pose. As you inhale, cow, heels to glutes. And on your exhale, that cat, floating the knees, and then that bear pose, which is just lifting your knees some, keeping them bent, heels are still lifted, but you're drawing the belly, the rib cage towards your thighs. Maybe they touch, drop the head. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, only lower your right heel, straightening through your right leg. See if you can keep your left leg as is. And then bend again, right knee. And then straighten the left heel lowers, right leg stays as is. And try that again. Right, bring it back, and left. And then bend into both knees. Take another breath in. On your exhale, return the knees to the ground, back into your table pose. Tops of the feet down, and give the tops of the feet a tap against the ground. Let's work on those wrists for a moment. So we're going to turn the left fingers towards the left, the right fingers towards the right, and now the left fingers any amount towards the left knee, and the same thing with the right fingers. And then we're going forward and back with the torso. So you're going beyond your wrists with your shoulders, press down through your fingers, and then you're going back, hips towards your heels, big stretch for the inner part of your wrist. Don't overdo it. And then again, forward and back. And forward and back. And then come back through center, and now turn the fingers to face one another. Left fingers to face right, right fingers to face left. And then from here, we're going to go from side to side, left to right with your torso. Push down a bit more through the finger pads. Remember those spider hands, a little bend through the finger joints. Your elbows could be bent here too. And then bring yourself back through center. And then we're going to turn the left palm to face up towards the ceiling, fingers pointing towards your knee. Top of the hand presses down. And now make a fist with your hand, with your left hand. So fingers into the palm, tighten that fist. And then open it, press the fingernails down. And do that one more time. Into the palm, curl in. And then press the fingers down, the fingernails down. And then turn that left palm down, and same thing with the right. So right palm faces up, fingers are pointing towards the knee. And then press the top of the hand down gently. And then make a fist, tighten, open, press fingernails. And then another fist, tighten. And again, open. And then from here, turn that palm to face down. Take an inhale into cow. And on your exhale, tuck your toes and all the way into downward facing dog. You can stay with this shorter down dog, another breath in and out. With your next inhale, walk your hands towards your feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Exhale. Inhale, bend the knees and rise into chair. And on your exhale, bring hands to your heart. Interlace your fingers and some gentle rolls for the wrists. In one direction, in the other. Maybe sit a little lower if it's available. And then pause that rotation, extend your arms and your legs coming all the way up, inhale. And as you exhale, side bend. Back through center, breath in. And then to the other side. Back through center, inhale, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. and fold, exhale. Walk your hands to the top of the mat, plank pose. And then as you exhale, take it into downward facing dog. Now in your downward facing dog, we're coming back to that knee bending. So bend the right knee, dropping it towards the floor, push that left heel down and push into your hands or push away with your hands. And then switch, left knee lowers, bending, right leg straightens, heel heavy, push away with your hands, breath in and out. And then as you inhale, lift both heels, straightening the legs, tailbone up. And then on your exhale, lower your knees to the mat, table pose. All right, so we'll go slow in this first little round with a block. Just to get acquainted with it, and then we'll do one more round each side, just because we'll know what we're doing a bit more. So we'll start with the left side. So block or whatever you're using is going to come behind that left knee. And if you're using your block, just find the position for it that will allow you to bend the knee and squeeze that block between your calf and your hamstring. Okay? So take a moment to find that. And then whenever you notice like a bit of a cramp coming, back off some. So no use letting that cramp go to its fullest version. So once you've got that, we're going to start lifting and lowering that left knee. So just like we did earlier, the toes towards the ceiling and then float. And then we're going to bring that left knee out to the left and float. And do that again, toes towards ceiling, float, knee towards left, and float. One more, ceiling, float, and left, and float. Now toes towards ceiling, you're going to keep it there, keep squeezing that block, and now tuck your right toes, and we're going to try and take this into a 3-leg down dog. So block is still behind that thigh, and we're going to lift that right knee, pushing that chest towards the right leg. Keep squeezing that block. And then we're going to return, right knee down. Okay? So we'll try that again. Take it into that 3-leg down dog. Block is still behind that left leg. And float it down, slow and controlled. One more time like that. Lift. And lower. Nice. Now we're going to lift and we're going to stay lifted. Okay, so that block is still behind that left leg. From this, we're walking the hands towards that right foot. And then from here, we're going to try and lift. So we're going to come into a balance pose. Keep that block. You could bring your hands to your heart. Keep squeezing that block. Steady breath, steady gaze. And then once you've got this, we're going to return. Flexing through your right hip, folding forward. Hands to the ground. Your right knee can be bent, as bent as you'd like. And now we're going to try and find that half moon. So left hand stays down, your right hand is going to reach behind you. See if you can find the block, grab it, plant it, your right hand is on it, and then begin to open up, lengthening that left leg, opening up into a half moon towards the left side. Once again, steady breath and gaze. Breathing in and out. And then we're going to unwind. Left hand returns to the floor. Block returns to the back of that left leg. Squeeze it there. Both hands down, and now walk your hands forward to find that 3-leg down dog. Drop the head, look from side to side. With your next inhale, lift that right heel And as you exhale, slowly lower that right knee. You're coming back into that three-leg table. And one more thing here. So from your three-leg table, left hand stays down, right arm reaches forward. Now sweeps to the right and back. Once again, grab a hold of your block and now extend arm and leg. So right arm forward, left leg back. You're going to plant the block and your right hand all the way out in front of you. And you're going to find a bit of a balance here. So you're dropping your right armpit towards the floor. Your left leg could stay lifted or your toes could rest down. Maybe the head rests onto that right shoulder if that feels good. There can be a bend in your left elbow. Breath in and a breath out. And then return your left knee to the ground under the hip, your right hand under your right shoulder, and we're back in table pose. Take a few movements here, whether it's a cow or cat, whether it's some movement through your legs. Maybe it's a child's pose. Recover your breath. Two more breaths and then we'll explore the other side. We're meeting back in table pose when you're ready. And then this time the block is going to be behind the right leg, the right thigh and calf. And again, find the position for the block that will allow you to find that squeeze. And then once you've got that squeeze, you're in this table pose. And then we're going to float that right knee, taking the toes towards the ceiling. And then float. And then the right knee towards the right, still squeezing that block. And float. That again, toes towards ceiling. Float. To the right. Float. Another one. Ceiling. Float. And to the right. And float. And now toes are going to go to the ceiling, still squeezing that block. We're going to tuck the left toes, and then we're going to come into that three-legged dog, lifting that left knee, hips, sending that chest towards that left leg. And then we're going to return. And then again, take it up and back. And back down. Another one like that. And then the next time that you're in that three-legged dog, we're pausing there. Squeeze that block. And now we're walking the hands towards that left foot. The block still behind the leg. Take a breath here. And then when you're ready, finding that balance, we're rising up so that right knee might come down in line with the left. Keep squeezing it. Lift the torso any amount. And then when you're ready, we're folding back down. And then we're going to take it into that half moon on this side. So now it's your left hand that's going to reach back for the block. Plant it in front of you. And then once you've got that, open up that right leg. Maybe your right arm reaches up. You could also keep that right hand down if you prefer. You could also have your right hand on your hip. And take a breath in. Out. And then we'll return. Right hand down. Bending into that right knee, bringing the block behind it. Find again that squeeze. And then once you've got that, walk your hands forward. 3-leg down dog. Lift that left heel and slowly lower that left knee. You're back into that 3-leg table, the block behind the right leg. When you're ready, left arm reaches forward, out to the left, and then back. Grab a hold of the block, extend your right leg, extend your left arm, plant block, plant left hand, and then find that stretch around that left armpit, dropping the left side of the chest to the ground. Maybe right leg stays lifted, toes come to the ground, or you might bend the knee and bring the knee under the hip. Can you take a deep breath in and an extra long breath out? And then when you're ready, return knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Take an inhale into cow. And then exhale, cat, child's pose. If it feels good, bring your arms by your side, your palms facing up. Allow the head to rest towards the ground, the fronts of the shoulders to drop towards the floor. And maybe invite some open mouth exhales. Notice where the most obvious sensation is in the body. Observe it. Notice if it has changed in any way. And then return your awareness, your attention to your breath. From your child's pose, bring your arms in front of you, plant them, and make your way into downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back, push the floor away with your hands. With your next inhale, walk your hands to your feet. And on your exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, rise into chair. And exhale, bring hands to your heart. Interlace your fingers and again give your wrists a roll here. Both directions. And then as you inhale, straighten legs and straighten arms. Grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand and take it over to the right side. Inhale, come back through center and switch over to the left. Inhale, back through center, arms wide and fold. Inhale, walk your hands forward, plank pose. On your exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift the heels of the feet. And on your exhale, bend the knees and lower the knees to the mat. One more round of that with a block. So we'll go a little faster, not fast, but a little more flowy. So block behind the left leg or left knee. Find that squeeze. When you're ready, inhale, toes towards ceiling, squeeze glute. Exhale, float. Inhale, knee towards the left and up. Exhale, float. Tuck your right toes, take an inhale. And on your exhale, float your right knee, come into that 3-leg down dog. Keep squeezing the block. When you're ready, walk your hands towards your right foot. Find a half lift here, still squeezing the block. And now keep your left hand where it is. Bring your right hand behind you. Find the block. Bring the block and the hand to the floor, and then open up into a half moon with your left fingers down, or maybe your left hand to your hip, or maybe your left arm all the way towards the ceiling. Take a breath here. On your exhale, return the left hand down. Bend your left knee and then plant the block behind it. Squeeze it. Right hand down. On your inhale, walk your hands to the top of the mat. Find this 3-leg down dog. Drop the head. Take a breath in. As you exhale, slowly lower that right knee. You're coming into a table pose with the block still behind your left leg. From here, extend your right arm forward. Out to the right, sweep it behind you, find the block. Move the block forward, extending arm and leg forward and back. And then on your exhale, plant block, right hand on it, and find that stretch for right armpit, maybe still reaching back and up with your left leg. A full breath in. On your exhale, return the knee under the hip and the hand under the shoulder, back into table. Take a cow and a cat. Find that neutral spine, and now plant the block behind your right knee. Find that squeeze. When you're ready, float the knee, toes towards ceiling. Bring it back. Open the knee to the right. Bring it back. Tuck your left toes. On your exhale, 3-leg down dog. Lift that left knee. Drop the head. Take a breath in and out. Walk your hands towards your left foot. Find a halfway lift. And now keep your right hand down. Left arm reaches back. Find your block. Plant it in front of you. And then begin to open up into your half moon, this time towards the right side. Stay with your breath. When you're ready, return the right hand down. Bend your right knee and plant the block behind it. Squeeze it. Both hands on the mat and begin to walk your hands forward, 3-leg dog. Take a breath here. And then lift your left heel, bend your left knee, slowly lower that knee to the mat. As you inhale, extend your left arm forward, sweep it to the left, and then back behind you. Find the block. And then once you've got the block, arm and leg reach forward and back. Plant block hand and look for a stretch through the left armpit area. Maybe the head drops. Maybe your right foot is still reaching up for a breath in. And then on your exhale, right knee on the right hip, left hand on the on the left shoulder. Take a breath in into cow. And then as you exhale, round your spine and drop the sit bones towards your heels. Child's pose. Maybe arms in front, maybe by your side. Come back to that breath. And then from your child's pose, begin to lift your spine. And make your way into a seat. You can sweep your feet to one side, plant your sit bones, and then bring the feet forward in front of you. So we're coming straight onto our back body. However you want to get there. Maybe with your arms reaching forward, maybe with your chest open first, and then that curl as you lower section by section, all the way down. And then once you find your back body planted, maybe your head on a folded blanket, bring the right knee into your chest. Finding a half happy baby here, drawing the right knee towards the right armpit, keeping your left knee bent and left foot planted, or if it feels good, extending that left leg all the way down onto the ground. Maybe right heel stays down towards the glute, or if it's available, right foot faces the ceiling. Maybe your right hand comes onto the sole of that right foot, and you're still encouraging your right knee to draw down by your armpit. Breathing in and breathing out. Another here. And then release this half happy baby. Plant your right foot, right knee starts bent, and then bring your left knee into your chest. Guide that left knee towards your left armpit. And then again, assess. Maybe you stay here, or maybe that right leg slides all the way onto the ground. And again, maybe you stay here, left heel towards left glute, or that left foot lifts up, but your left knee is still moving towards your left armpit or the space next to it. Another breath. And then release this half happy baby. Bend both knees, one hand onto each knee, and separate circles with those knees. Some hip rotation in one direction. And then switch. And the knees will come back through center. Plant your left foot and now straighten your right leg towards the ceiling. Your hands could be behind your right thigh, encouraging that right thigh to come closer to your chest. And then pushing that right heel away from you as you press the back of your right hip down. Your hands could stay down at your thigh, or you could reach them up towards your ankle. And making some little tweaks here so that the stretch is kind of evenly distributed through the back of the leg. So kind of tricky, but notice if there's a certain part, say, at the top of your hamstring, for example, or the back of your knee where you're feeling it most, and see if you can find some micro movements to take some of the sensation more into kind of what we call the belly of the muscle. So kind of more the center of the thigh, the back of the thigh, or the center of the calf. Another breath. And then release this side. We'll do the same on the left. So plant your right foot, bring your left knee into your chest, hands behind your thigh to start with, and then extend that leg. And then just try here, getting that thigh to as close to the belly rib cage as is available. And then maybe walking your hands towards the ankle. But then little movements, kind of like a little rotation sometimes, or a press down through the back of your hip, or a push up through the heel, or drawing of the toes can kind of tweak a little bit the sensation through the back of the leg. So find some exploration. And then release, left foot down, bring the feet a little wider, the knees are still bent, and then drop your knees towards the left side. You could stay heavy here, knees towards the ground. You could also add the weight of your left foot by bringing that left foot just over onto that right leg. And just make sure your knee feels okay when you do this. And then release this side. Bring your knees back through center. Take a moment, let them touch. Maybe a little sway from side to side. And then take them over towards the right. Same options available, but if you find this is quite intense or too intense, you could definitely place block or pillow under those legs so that they don't have as far to go and they're still supported. But if you need a little bit more, then that right foot maybe crosses over or on top of that left leg. And anything that feels good with your arms. And if you haven't already, invite some more releasing exhales. And then eventually bring yourself back through center and just take a moment, see what comes up in the body. If nothing comes up, stay in stillness, breathe. If something is coming up, follow that. Maybe with eyes closed, so you know, not that conscious about how things look, but a bit more just aware of how things feel, trusting that. Oh, we're going to make our way into stillness, so about 5 more breaths. And doing anything that might be helpful to then find that moment of pause. Well, we've got about 6, 7 minutes of stillness. So if you need some extra clothing, some extra support, grab that. And then make a choice of where you're going to spend these last minutes of practice in stillness. Maybe it's lying down, maybe there is a pillow under the knees, under the head. Maybe it's on your side. Maybe you choose to find a seat. Wherever you are, invite a bit more ease and comfort than effort. And you might signal this transition with a deep breath in and an audible open mouth exhale. And I'll guide us through a short scan of the body, and then we'll find some quiet. And so start by bringing your attention to your feet. And if those feet are making contact with surface, notice that contact and make it a little bit more intimate, a bit more obvious. Drop into it, trust the support. And then move up through the legs. And as you find any other areas that are making contact, take a moment there and allow that contact to be a little bit more obvious. Allow some softening and relaxing of those tissues. And once again, trust that support and that surface underneath you. And then move up through the backs of your hips, and the back of your torso, and your arms. And as you notice areas of contact, can you make that contact more obvious? Can you really drop into it? And then moving up to the shoulders, the back of the neck and the head. And if there is contact with surface, can you allow some release to happen? And now for the next few minutes, allow yourself to be. Stay present and observe. Accept and learn. I'll be quiet and I'll guide us out when it's time. And then return your attention to your breathing. And then use your breath to invite gentle movement back into the body. It might be movement of eyeballs under eyelids, tongue. Maybe there's a swallow. Maybe it follows by a wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Also movement from your chin from side to side. And take your time. Eventually we'll meet in a seat to end practice together. You could choose to rest your hands in your lap or bring them to your chest. You might invite another breath in, a long breath out. And with eyes closed or open, we'll acknowledge here the practice itself. And we'll acknowledge with appreciation ourselves and our own practice today. And we'll acknowledge, appreciate all those who have practiced with us. And we'll do the same, acknowledge and appreciate all those who have made it possible. And we end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.